Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, this feels good. I might have to hold my arms up like this for a while. There's a breeze. It's nice and cool.
Hello, Cinema Peeps.
Hey, Cinema Peeps.
It's warm.
No, it's not. It's hot. It's goddamn hot.
Sorry, I live in the Arctic, so
True,
we got
yes.
air conditioning, so it's a wee bit better.
You have been blessed with the air conditioning and your nice, cool basement. I have no air conditioning, and I am up in my room, and look at just all the sun is just streaming through. I love it. It's beautiful. My plants are thriving, but you can see just a little dewy. Just a little dewy.
It's so dewy. Yeah, we went for a walk, and I could feel the sweat beads just rolling down my face. I was like, too much. I want it to be warm, but not this warm.
Right?
It's allowed to be 30, 31 when I'm at the lake. Or at least a body of water I can be swimming in.
Yes.
Otherwise, it don't need to be that hot.
No.
Nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. No, we bought, I sent you a Snapchat of it, but we bought Arnie a little splash pad so that he can, it's like a sprinkler, and it kind of fills up a little bit like a just a little kiddie pool kind of thing. So we have that for him for when it gets too hot. I think we used it more than he did yesterday when we set it up. But he wasn't too sure about it at first, but then we threw some toys in there, and then he kind of he was like, one paw, and then two paws. And then he went in and he just was splashing around with his ball, and he was enjoying it, so.
Aw. Yeah, we were just chatting a little bit off the pod about TV shows that we've been watching this summer. And,
so far, yes.
Yes. Amazing Race Canada just started, so.
How many seasons are they on now?
For Amazing Race Canada? Oh, this is only season 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this isn't the normal Amazing Race that's been on for 5 million years.
Okay, gotcha.
It's the only reality show apparently my parents enjoy watching. At least that's a quote from my mother. But it stars John Montgomery, who is a Canadian gold medalist from the Olympics. And he hosts the show, and he is adorable and funny. And yeah, it's just what are words in English language? Like I said, I don't watch a lot of The Amazing Race, but that one is definitely more global. Whereas especially first season Amazing Race Canada, it was all within Canada.
Right, yeah, okay.
Every so often they'll go to a couple across the pond destinations, but typically it is still within Canada, which is kind of nice because then you can experience these things that you've never seen before. This first episode, they were in a just little city outside of Montreal. And it was very beautiful. It was a little ski village. The architecture was amazing. But yeah, it's just cool to kind of see more parts of the country that I don't really get to see.
Yeah, totally.
And I suspect this season, especially just because they filmed it last year, so there was still a lot of COVID restrictions. I'm a feeling that most of it will stay in Canada.
Yeah.
Which honestly is fine by me. It is cool that they go out and again, like I said, across the pond, but they always found it a way to link it back to Canada, either with some historical facts or, maybe Canada has a huge population or something of people who've immigrated to Canada, so we're paying our respects and da-da-da-da. But it's just I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's and again, to be fair, I've never watched a lot of The Amazing Race Canada, but I don't feel like they have any, they don't really pay homage like that. They're more here is the great wide world and everything you can see in it.
Yeah.
More than the roots of the United States, but I'm sure it has its merits too. But we personally enjoy just The Amazing Race Canada, so that's the only one we watch.
That's cool. I like that they incorporate some historical facts into it, because then it's not just a form of entertainment. You're also getting some education out of it, and then motivation to travel. So that's cool.
Yes, and episode 2, they're going to Lethbridge, and they're going to the Birds of Prey Museum. So I'm very excited.
Nice.
Excited to see what that's going to be like.
That's cool.
We'll see how it goes. But what was my thought? But yeah, I guess that's our big show right now. And then obviously Only Murders in the Building. But
yes, which I need to. I have that on my list, so I'll be watching that.
Get to work.
Heck yeah.
But we were just talking about a show that you were about to start. Well, Yeah, you've said you've recorded episode 1. You just haven't started watching it yet.
I have watched the first episode. But yes, it just premiered on Sunday, I believe. I'm not 100% sure how long they've been on TV. Just because I kind of, before this season, I've just only been kind of watching random episodes here and there, but I'm assuming it's been on for a couple of years at least.
I think so too.
Yeah, but it's called Who Do You Think You Are? Which is basically a show where who do you think you are? It's basically a show about like just finding out your lineage and tracing through your family history, family tree, and it's all, you know, celebrities who are doing it, so that's kind of what motivates people to want to watch it. And a lot of these celebrities find out some pretty interesting facts about their family history, which is kind of neat. And my mom has been doing a lot of like digging into her family history and stuff lately too, so it's been kind of a neat and fun show to watch alongside you know, her own journey of just trying to figure out like her family history and where her family comes from, because she doesn't really know a whole lot about it. So so the reason why I'm like sitting down to watch it this season is because one of my favorite actors, Zachary Levi, is going to be on it. So that'll be fun to watch. I just got his book that he just released not too long ago too, where he kind of talks about his childhood growing up and his family and stuff like that. And he kind of mentions a couple of things about his family history, like how apparently his 10th great grandmother, so great 10 times grandmother, was accused of witchcraft back in the day, apparently.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right?
That's when you know they're cool.
Yeah, right? So it sounds like they're going to dive into that in the episode, so I'm excited to kind of hear about that and find out about that. But the first episode was Billy Porter, which honestly I was really, because like it's not
Is that a Hobbit? Sorry?
No, Billy Porter is he was
the name's familiar, but I can't.
He's the very like, he likes the really crazy fashion. Like he's always at all the Met galas and stuff like that. He's really big in the fashion scene. He's an actor. Big activist, LGBTQ and all that kind of stuff. But if you saw a picture, you would know.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna
quickly search up.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was in American Horror Story. He's been in a few different things. He was on Broadway, but it was kind of neat to actually like see the stuff that he was discovering on his family history and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Now I know who he is. Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Took a second. My brain doesn't work so good.
Well, it's hard. There's so many celebrities. You try to remember them all.
It's too hard. Too difficult.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been interesting, and so I'm excited to watch the rest of the season and see the other celebrities. I know in the past there's been a couple, like I think it was Hilary Duff actually who was on it previously, and she found out she's like related to royalty in like Europe somewhere. Ooh. So that's kind of cool. She got to travel to Europe and like see the actual like old scrolls that have like her name and like her lineage and stuff on it. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, both my parents are big fans of the show, so they've been watching for a while. I just Googled. It's been around since 2004. The show's been around.
I didn't know it was that far back.
But I think it's obviously not very, as a traditional show, it only has like X amount of episodes a lot of the time. Yeah. But still, it's been going on for a while.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I feel like it probably takes a long time to dig up all this stuff, right? Like they make it seem so easy for the episodes, so the episode goes by fast, but I'm sure it takes like a long time. Even just from my mom going through her stuff, it takes a long time, and she has a friend who's helping her dive into this kind of stuff too, and like it takes a while.
She should ask my mom.
I told her to do that too, so I'll see if she's interested in still wanting to do some more research.
My mom, that's all. Not all she does, but it is a very big passion of hers.
Yeah.
And again, speaking to like, the research is, and it can be very difficult, especially just because it depends on like how well records are kept. So obviously with Hilary Duff, when there's royalty, that's a little bit easier. Yeah. So obviously they would keep those kinds of documents. But, and again, if it's something like, as like on my dad's side, it's Ukrainian and Lithuanian. So my mom doesn't have as many. Because I think from like on her side, she has it down to like oh my god, like so far down our family tree, but not so as far as my dad on my dad's side, because again, a lot of those documents are in Ukrainian and she cannot read that.
Right.
So then you have to find someone to translate for you.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm trying to remember what she told me. Like sometimes like the documents aren't free, so a lot of times you have to pay a fee. And sometimes they don't want to share documents. And you have to like maybe go in person or something. And it's like, I can't fly over to the Ukraine. Yeah. You know, especially right now. But, you know, so there are like a couple obstacles that, So my mom likes to joke a lot on Who Do You Think You Are? Because like usually the celeb just shows up and they're like, oh, wow. Yeah. Wow.
Here we are. Like, yeah.
Right? I did all this work. Nah, you didn't. Yeah. Nah. Like, well, a huge team behind the scenes probably did it.
Right. But it's funny, too, because, like, my mom and I were saying, like, Billy Porter, we thought for the longest time, there's another actress, her name is Adina Porter, I believe is her name. She looks identical to him. Like, I swear they could be brother and sister. Same last name and everything, but we researched it. They're not related at all, and it's insane. Like, they look so much alike. They've acted in things together before too, as like siblings. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, right. But like, no relation at all. So it's crazy. Yeah.
Even the casting directors were like, I think we struck gold.
Yeah, right.
It is interesting how like that can, you know, work, and then sometimes like you're like, oh, you two are related? How?
Yeah.
You know, it's actually like, it is kind of interesting, but it is a lot of work to do.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know, but like shows, I think like, you know, Who Do You Think You Are? I think probably help bridge those gaps. So you're like, hey, like you can be doing this, and like, you know, and it is a neat way to, again, preserve your own family history, maybe find people. Although that's what my mom always warns people before they do DNA tests, you know. Like, be careful, like, because there are some people who have tested and then they find out, wait a minute, I don't match my parents. And they found out, oopsie, I'm adopted, or oopsie, I think my mom had a relationship with the milkman. It's, I mean, I understand, like, it's probably a very tough situation to be in. So that's why my mom always warns people, like, before you do it, like, you know, just be aware, like, you know, stuff like this can happen. Yeah. So, you know, and like you said, like, a lot of people I feel do use, like, stuff like 23andMe to figure out, like, what their heritage is. And I mean, that is, like, a very popular part of their campaign.
Yep.
Like, find out, like, what percentage of your lineage and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, you always got to be careful.
Yep.
And I think if you are going to do it, you kind of have to have some compassion and openness, because sometimes, I mean, we kind of had something very similar happen on my dad's side as well, and that just opened up a weird can of worms.
Yeah, everyone's curious about where they came from and their history. And again, like shows like Who Do You Think You Are, you see all these celebrities finding out that, oh, they're one of their 10 times great grandmother is accused for witchcraft, or oh, someone's got royalty, or someone this, that, and the other thing, right? And so you go, oh, well, maybe I've got that in my family too. And so that's the initial curiosity, but then you forget, like, hey, you could be digging up some other things that you might not that might not have wanted to know in the first place.
Like I said, I think people, like, I think it is a very cool way to preserve your family history, so that if you do have
the technology that we have nowadays is incredible.
Oh yeah. Oh, that reminds, and I mean, one of the other things as again maybe part of like looking up your family history is you might have to go back and cycle through like the news, because that's a very common tool my mom has to use to find, like, you know, usually like birth certificates or like obits, especially for like time of death, or not time of death, but like the date of death or whatever. And we did do that one time in Vancouver. We went to the library. And we got the little thing out, and we got the film out, and we looked for it. It was very, very cool.
It was very cool. Yeah, I've never done that before. That was the one and only time I've ever done that was with you. And I'm like, ooh, I feel like we're like solving a mystery or something. This is awesome.
Very Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, very cool.
Very cool.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But I guess just be careful, and but I think it is a very cool. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, and like with Zachary Levi too, like lately he's been a very big advocate for mental health, because he's gone through his own, mental health journey and stuff like that. And anybody who follows him would know this, because he's been very big on speaking out about it and very open. And that's partly what his book is about too. And so I think what him doing this Who You Think You Are thing is, at least for his intentions, is like he's saying, you know, yeah, it's cool to like find out your heritage and all that kind of stuff, but for me it's more to find out the generational trauma that my family's been through, because that's clearly where things have kind of led up to like his point in his journey with mental health and stuff like that. Is, you know, he was programmed based off of, you know, his parents and what they knew, and then like, you know, they were programmed based off of their parents back, and it goes back and back and back. So he just kind of wants to, you know, obviously learn about all those other things, but it's more for him, he just wants to trace back how far this generational trauma has gone back in his family, in hopes that it will maybe like help other people understand that, hey, maybe you're a product of your environment, so maybe it's not your fault the way you do things and see things and perceive things and stuff like that. It could be because you were raised a certain way, and your parents raised you the way they were raised, and so it goes back and back and back. It's not necessarily right or wrong, but it's interesting to kind of like go back and see how far maybe this trauma came up to be, and you can kind of, you know, practice a bit more empathy with your family members and understanding, okay, well, so it's not that they were you know, their intentions weren't to actually do this to me, it's just that they didn't know any other way possible because this is what they were taught, sort of thing, right? So I find that interesting. Well, still not good. You still hold people accountable for sure, but like it's just interesting so that, you know, you yourself can heal maybe more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask my mom what the name of the other show is that is very similar to Who Do You Think You Are? But it's not as snazzy and poppy as Who Do You Think You Are?
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, big old trips and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a little more serious and mundane.
Sweeping aerial shots of all the places they go, and they make it. It's so cool. They make it. It's like watching National Treasure and like something else, because the guy comes out with the gloves and like the document, and they're like, yes, this is very fragile, and you're like, ooh.
Don't breathe on it, funny.
Yeah, don't breathe on it. Yeah.
Oopsie, I just destroyed a 1,000-year-old document.
Yeah. What's that?
Bad.
You have a cat in here? Oh no! Achoo!
Right. Oh my gosh.
Or do what Nicolas Cage does, and he's like, lemon water and heat.
Oh yeah. He was gonna squirt the whole lemon, and she was like, hell no.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it very carefully, and then they're like, nothing happened, and then you need
like,
heat. Yeah, that weird. They both just go.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh my god.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I think they are finally confirmed they're doing a National Treasure 3 on Disney Plus. I am so happy.
Me too. I'm excited.
I think when everyone's like, what's your favorite movie? National Treasure is always like the first one to my, like, on top of my head every time.
Yeah.
It's just like that fun, you know, action, adventure, and mystery portion. Didn't make me feel too stupid. Because sometimes that's always the problem with smart people shows. Sometimes you're like, I feel really dumb. This is just over my head.
It's almost kind of like
complicated.
It's almost kind of like Amazing Race and like Who Do You Think You Are, or like Uncharted, where they've got they're racing against that other team who are trying to get to all the artifacts before them, but then there's like all the history of the United States and Benjamin Franklin and all that stuff, and
right. So I'm excited for this next one. I mean, I have no idea when it's gonna come out, but
true.
I will patiently be waiting.
Hell yeah.
And then honestly, I'm not even sure if Nicolas Cage is going to be in it. Or anybody.
Oh, really?
Honestly, like, I don't know. Would it be nice? Yeah. But for me, that's not like a deal breaker.
Yeah. I could see them, because I guess to tie it in, because it was all about like his lineage and stuff like that, and how it was involved in all that stuff. So I wonder maybe if they'll do like his son or something like that.
Right? That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
That'd be cool.
Like a young generation
kind
of deal. Like,
yeah.
Disney, you can steal all my ideas. It's fine. I just want it to come out.
Just give me what I want.
Right? Although in the second one, they kept hinting about, because there was like the president's book or whatever. And he was like, did you check page, what was it, 43 or 49 or something? And then Nicolas Cage is like, yeah, I think I can help you with that. And they're like, what? So guess gotta tie that back in with his son, like it's gonna be great,
right?
At least fingers crossed. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, I'm hoping to see Thor Love and Thunder this week, but we'll see how it goes.
The more I'm seeing promos for it, the more excited I am to watch it. I wasn't too sure if I was like wanting to see it, but the more promos that they're showing, the more I'm kind of like, okay, this could be fun.
Well, I'm more like literally when they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be directed by a director." Oh my God, no, why, no.
Taika Waititi.
Thank you. I was like, not even gonna try. My brain was just like T,
T.
and I was like, I can't even like fucking function. But yeah, because I mean, I think they did a good job with Thor Ragnarok.
Oh yeah,
Like he brought a more fun into Thor, especially just because, like, I mean, I enjoyed the first Thor movie because it did like, what are words? He's kind of like a fish out of water.
Yeah,
like, the comedy worked, but then the second one, it wasn't very good.
Yeah, I don't remember how the second one at all.
Honestly, good. Like just like erase that information out of your brain.
Yeah.
Just know there was an Infinity Stone there, and that's it.
That's
you
it. Yeah.
You don't need to
worry about
anything else.
Yeah.
And I know there was some. I don't want to use the word drama, but I know Natalie Portman, because originally, what's her pickle? Patty Jenkins was gonna direct Thor 2.
Oh.
And that's why Natalie Portman really wanted to come. Like, she was kind of like only really to come back if she directed, but then they kicked her off the project. But I mean, then she went on to make Wonder Woman, so I mean, kind of worked out in the way. But now she's back for this new fourth one, so
nice. Yeah,
which is kind of exciting, and that she's Lady Thor. So
yes,
we'll have to see how that. I'm assuming again that plays into like the multiverse that's kind of happening right now with, especially with the last Doctor Strange. Obviously, multiverse of madness.
Yep.
So they're definitely leaning more into multiverse type things, which will be very cool to see.
Yeah.
And I guess in a slight way, they're taking a couple more risks in terms of directors, because obviously with Waikiki, not that he was like a very unknown director, but he was definitely like an indie director. And they're like, who is this indie guy directing a Marvel movie?
Yeah.
And yet, he blew everyone's expectations out of the water. I wouldn't say James Gunn was like, but I mean, he was maybe slightly like an underdog.
Yeah.
And especially because, again, Guardians, I know for me, I was like, what the fuck are the Guardians of the Galaxy? What the fuck is this bullshit? And again, they've picked a lot of really good actors, and now everybody wants to be part of Marvel, and I feel at some point every single person's going to be in Marvel.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Every single person.
Yeah. Without
fail. It is just going to take over, and that is that.
Right? Well, it's kind of like the Mandalorian too, where like so many celebrities just guest in the background somewhere, or like just had a role, very minor role, just for the sake of wanting to be on it, kind of thing.
Right. But I'm just kind of hoping we'll see how Thor: Love and Thunder goes. But I'm afraid I might be hitting some more like Marvel fatigue.
Oh yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I guess only time will tell.
And to wrap it up, the first episode of Amazing Race Canada, they had a big Thor promo.
All right, nice.
Which I thought was weird, because I was like, I'm pretty sure they filmed this in 2021. I was like,
they snuck it in there somehow.
I was like, that's some very elaborate planning. And it wasn't just like a side thing, too. They had a challenge where people were walking around with the poster on their back.
Oh.
And then they had to collect pieces of Thor's hammer to finish the last puzzle and make it.
Oh wow!
Like, assemble it together and then take it to John at the start line. Not the start line, but the checkpoint or whatever the fuck it's called. I gotta say, damn, that is some well planning on their part. Well planning. But speaking of being well planned, I think that'll do it for today's episode.
Boom, baby.
My only recommendation is watch the DuckTales reboot. It's hilarious. Very well. It's just like clearly a passion project that the creators cared about. It's not just any old reboot. Yeah. They care a lot. Not only like they really developed the characters in this one, and then they also include, if you're a fan of Darkwing Duck, and they've incorporated a lot of like the other side shows back in like the 80s and 90s into it. It's very cool.
Nice.
So I recommend giving it a check.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I would recommend 2 other forms of media, I guess. The first one being, not really media, but the first one being Zachary Levi's book, Radical Love. It's really good. It's a easy, not an easy read, it's a short read. It definitely dives deep into a lot of like mental health and stuff like that. But if you're into that kind of thing, it's really cool. Or if you're a fan of Zachary Levi and you want to learn more about him, highly recommend it. And then the other one would be tomorrow. Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling are doing a new podcast called Talkville, where they're going to watch all the episodes of Smallville and talk about their experiences as they watch. So I'm excited for that. So if there's any Smallville fans out there who want to see that, it premieres tomorrow. And yeah.
Tomorrow, as in it premiered last week.
Yes, sorry. Yes, it premiered last Wednesday, so when this comes out, it'll already have been out.
But see, we're good at planning. We're good at planning.
Yeah, we know what we're doing. We're getting back to it.
Yeah. We know what I'm doing. But please leave a comment down below what you thought of today's episode. Leave us a like and please subscribe. We need 69 subscribers because it's hilarious. 69. But anyways, watch all the content, guys, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Monkey.